So here's a little itinerary that I've prepared to show you some slightly unusual highlights of the trendy or oshare Daikanyama and Nakameguro neighborhood. So you start by heading to Daikanyama station and leave through the main exit, and then you head along till you get to the main road. Don't worry, I'm going to link to these directions so you can examine them at your leisure. And then you get to a little footbridge and cross over the main road. There's the footbridge here, and then that positions you in front of Asakura House. So let's have a look at Asakura House. It's difficult to see, but the entrance is just in this little spot here. I don't think I can get at it easily from Google Maps. Anyway, Asakura House is a well-preserved, very old Japanese house from a former dignitary. And obviously this is a Tokyo cheapo itinerary, so it's very cheap to get in. It just costs 100 yen. And it's well worth a visit. It's very off the beaten track, so to speak, finding such an old, well-preserved house in this very central, fashionable district of Tokyo. So the first stop is check out Q Asakura House. That means old Asakura House. So once you've got your fill of the ancient, we'll head over to the ultra-modern. And so the next stop is walking back down the main road, heading northwest, and eventually you come to T-site, Daikanyama T-site. Let's plump the little guy in front of T-site so we can have a look. T-site is Tsudaya's flagship store. Tsudaya is a Japanese bookstore, originally a bookstore, now it sells DVDs and whatever else the latest delivery mechanisms for music are. And they commissioned the architecture firm called Klein Dytham, a British chap, and I believe a Dutch lady who run it, and they're quite well known in Tokyo. And it's a beautiful, really nice campus. It's a bit like a campus, really. It's got these several buildings, and it shows you that the bookshop really isn't dead in Japan yet. There's this really beautiful building which just kind of, it's just eking out books and it's telling you sit down and read a book, and it's well worth your time just drifting around. Maybe you won't be able to read any of the books because a lot of them are Japanese, but it's a nice little campus. If you like small dogs that wear coats, then you've hit the jackpot, because there's a little dog run and a dog grooming salon, as there are many of in Daikanyama. There's also a rather nice Starbucks in there, if that's your thing. So have a wander around and check out the architectural beauty of Daikanyama T-site. So from architecture to a park. So the next stop is Saigoyama Park, which is just a bit further down the road, and a little tricky getting a good view from Google Maps, Google Street View, but this has got a nice view. If the lighting's good, if the weather's good, you can see Mount Fuji from this park. If you're there in the spring, you get beautiful cherry blossoms, but it's a nice little park, a waypoint on your journey. So optional cafe or a convenient takeaway to have a picnic there if you're doing it cheapo styley. So once you've checked out the park, I will invite you to go to the little walk through the neighborhood of the back streets of Nakameguro, where there's some rather striking rich people's houses. And like this one, for example, here, it's a rather interesting architectural marvel. It's very narrow and thin, and there's several of these rather interesting custom designed houses in this neighborhood. So just a little walk through those back streets and check out some contemporary Japanese architecture. Let me get it around. There we go. See this thin little house on the edge there. So have a stroll through this neighborhood. Check out some of the interesting mansions on the way. And as you walk down your hill, you get to this big crossing. And we're looking for the Meguro Sky Garden, which is the next stop on our itinerary. So the entrance is actually inside of this building here. So if I plonk at my little man on the map, just where the expressway is, and turn around and face the right direction. So the tall building here, this chap here. So you go in the entrance of this building and you head up to the 9th floor, and the 9th floor is the entrance to the Meguro Sky Garden. Here you can see some pictures from the Sky Garden. The Sky Garden is an interesting little chap. It's a garden created on the roof of a motorway interchange. Here's the picture from above, and you enter in through this building. And another example of interesting contemporary architecture, the park on top of an motorway interchange. So if you can read Japanese, then you'll be interested to hear. You'll be able to decipher all the different sections of the park, like seasonal garden, east garden, and whatnot. And there's a sort of dog area and whatnot. But it's just a nice little spot to check out the Sky Garden. So have a good old check of the Sky Garden, one of the more unusual parks in Tokyo. Once you're done with that, the backtrack and you get back onto Meguro Gawa, the Meguro River. You can actually leave the Sky Garden from the other exit and then walk back along the river. And there's actually a whole range of establishments. You could stop off along here. There's lots of little boutique stores. But two I've picked out. One is Hanabi, which is a nice kind of Japanese style restaurant. They serve fish and rice, and it's a very nice atmosphere, as most of the restaurants along the river tend to be. It's reasonable priced. If you go there for lunch, you're looking at typically 1,000 yen lunch deal. And again, if you're into little dogs, there's a dog hotel and school above the Hanami store. And I'll leave an exercise for the reader to count how many establishments there are for dogs along the Nakameguro River and neighborhood. So continue your stroll along the river. It's a very beautiful part of Tokyo, especially during the cherry blossom, because you've got this river lined entirely by cherry blossoms. So the final stop, which is just back to the station, but if you want to spend a little bit more time in Nakameguro, I've highlighted one of my favorite little cafes called Chanoma, which is on the top floor of this rather narrow little building. I have to turn around to see it. So this little narrow building just next to the station. So the entrance is just down here, and it's on the top floor next to a pizza restaurant. And Chanoma is a very stylish cafe restaurant. Again, a good lunch option. They have a deli lunch for less than 1,000 yen, and it's nice any time of night or day. I used to often go there at 2 a.m. Because they have good lighting, good music, good drinks, good desserts, and this fun little seating area on the side, which is a bit like having your own bed. So I leave you with Chanoma as the final stop on the tour, and then you can jump on the Tokyo line or the Fukutoshin line and head back wherever you want to go.